Hello, and welcome back to the podcast where you are invited for lighthearted conversations about things that matter as you seek to live your most meaningful, beautiful, and joyful life. I'm your host, Dr. Edie Wadsworth, and I hope you enjoy your stay here at the House of Joy. Hi, dear ones. Welcome back to the podcast. We're so happy to have you here on the House of Joy podcast. This is episode 242, and this is a really special episode, you guys, because I am celebrating 10 years in business, 10 years as an entrepreneur, as an online business owner. I can't wait to share with you some of my favorite lessons that I have learned. This is going to be part one because I think this might have 2 or 3 parts, but I'm really excited. But favorite lessons that I've learned in business as a coach, as an entrepreneur in the past 10 years. So I know some of you are so excited about this because you either really want to start a business as a woman in midlife, or you're feeling called to become a coach or to share your wisdom somehow. Listen, this is how God made us, that once we go through something hard or go through a transition or figure something out for ourselves, we naturally want to share it. And this is exactly how I started both of the businesses that I still run. By having a lot of struggles on my own, and then through those struggles, figuring some things out, learning some tools, and then desperately wanting to share the tools, the wisdom with other people. And so I can't wait to get into it. I think I have 10 lessons from 10 years in business, and I'm so excited to share those with you. I also want to take just a brief moment to let you know that if you are listening to this podcast in real time, you still have a chance to come join my live private training Thursday. What will the date be? December 5th. It'll be Thursday, December 5th at 1 p.m. Eastern. This is the last chance to join our coach certification in 2025. We are only running one round of our Christian life coach certification. So if you've been wanting to do it, this is your chance to hear all about it and decide if this is the right time for you. We normally run this program twice a year. We're only doing it once in 2025 because we're starting a master coach training program. So if you have been feeling called to do this, we are going to open some slots up from Thursday to Monday. And so this is a great chance to jump in there. The way that we need you to fill out a quick form. So the way you get to the form is you go to my Instagram at Edie Wadsworth. There's a few posts right at the top, or you can send me a DM. You just comment or DM the word 2025, and I will send you the Google form where you will fill out, I think there's 3 or 4 questions on there that we need to know about you in order to have you come into this training. You fill those out. We'll send you the link to the training Thursday, December 5th at 1 p.m. So you guys, I have got my coffee here. I just got back from the gym. I'm have my highest energy, I think, when I get back from the gym. So watch out because I have so many fun things to share. Building a business, you guys, has been one of the greatest pleasures of my life. It's been one of the hardest things I have ever done. So if you're a business owner, if you're an entrepreneur, especially if you're doing online business, well, if you run any kind of business, actually, you know that it is one of the best ways to ensure your own personal growth. If you want to grow yourself, definitely start a business. And I know so many of you feel called to do that. That's why I know so many of you want to be on my training on Thursday. We have been training Christian life coaches for 2.5 years now, I think. And we have over 400 or very close to 400 coaches that we have trained using our life mentoring school tools and methods that are grounded in scripture, but also the latest, cutting edge neuroscience, psychology. Seriously, this program, you guys, is amazing and very high touch, run by my incredible coach instructors, taught by me. It's so, so good. So get in there if you haven't. Let's just dive into the lessons, though. I think you're going to enjoy this. First lesson that I have learned so much since I've been building my business is that your thoughts, beliefs, mindset create your business, create the reality of your business. Now, listen, all the life coaching tools that we teach in Life Mentoring School about mindset and emotional work are even more important in business. The most important thing when building your business is what's between your ears and what's in your heart, because you will live out whatever those secret thoughts are that you have about your business. You will make them reality. So you have to consciously choose what you want to believe about yourself as a business owner, about your business, really showing up with love for the people that you serve. Your mindset is such a powerful force in shaping the experience that you have in your business and shaping your success of your business. So you have to ask yourself, what are those beliefs? And what I have learned is that this is something you have to practice every day. So every day, I'm usually writing down a powerful thought that I want to think about myself, about my life, about my business. I've had so many over the years. One that I love is I serve my clients at the highest level, because when you focus on the people that you're serving, when you focus on loving them and caring for them and providing solutions for them and providing value for them, it gets you out of your own head, and stops you from being so self-focused that it gets in your way. So what are the thoughts that you have about your business? Again, I practice different ones all the time. Last year, I practiced an amazing thought that as I grow my business, I grow my life. So that a lot of people think, well, as I grow my business, my life's going to suffer, my health's going to suffer. And I practice the thought that as I grow my business, my life gets better, my health gets better, my connection gets better, my relationships benefit. And I really do believe that my whole entire life has benefited from all the skills that I've built in growing a business, the emotional capacity that I've built in growing a business, the powerful mindset that I've created for myself. I have such skills in mindset now because it's something that I work on, such skills in emotional capacity. And those have really translated to every part of my life. So I want you to think, especially if you're a person who's also growing a business, or you want to grow a business, or you want to make some kind of transition. I practiced medicine for 10 years and then didn't really work outside the home for a while, and then started my online business. And I am telling you, there has been almost nothing in my life that has grown me as a person and has helped me develop such powerful skills in my life as growing a business. Your thoughts, beliefs, and mindset will create the reality of your business. So you have to choose those intentionally. Choose thoughts and beliefs that really set your soul on fire. I really do believe that we're starting a movement of midlife women. That's sort of my purpose in life. I want to really encourage and inspire midlife women that their best days are still ahead. You have so much still to offer. How do you want to use your gifts now? What kind of legacy and impact do you want to leave? Because what I find is that so many times women get to midlife and go, well, I've done my thing, and they kind of like check out. No. So my powerful mindset around that is contagious to other people. It draws other people to me. So if you're struggling in your business right now, ask yourself, what are those sneaky thoughts that I could be believing? Are you thinking something like, well, it's too late for me? Are you thinking, well, I don't really have that much to offer? Is there a sneaky thought under there that, well, I haven't had the success that she's had? No, you just decide what you want to believe about the gifts God's given you and how you can use those to serve the world and impact people. Second thing that I've learned is to really embrace the process and let go of the outcome. I heard this quote that is like, you will walk way further if you learn to enjoy walking rather than just trying to get to a destination. This is so true, you guys. Every morning when I go to the gym, my dear friend Tanner meets me, and we do a few laps around the gym before we ever go in. And I love the process of walking. It's so much more fun too if you can do it with a friend, but I love walking here at my house too. All the things that you have to do in your business, you have to teach yourself how to love them. So many of my coaches tell me, well, I don't love marketing. I love coaching, but I don't love marketing. Well, marketing is just loving on your people, providing value for them before they hire you. So can you teach yourself how to love the process of building a business instead of just looking toward the outcome of like, well, I want the outcome that she has, but I don't enjoy all the things she's doing to get there. So I have just, in so many areas of my life, I've learned how to do this. With weight training, I used to think that I didn't really love going to the gym, and now I just love it. it's one of my favorite parts of my day because I've learned to love the process, not just like the biceps that I might be building along the way, but really the process. So can you teach yourself to love the process? And it's not that you don't have a goal for what the outcome is, but you detach yourself from the outcome. You learn to just love the doing of the process, the doing of building the business, the doing of the coaching or whatever your business is, the doing of, for me, when I was, teaching a ton of oils classes and supplements classes, when I was, really hot and heavy building my Young Living business. I just loved teaching. I still do. I love the process. So teach yourself how to love the process instead of always measuring it by the outcome. The outcome will come when you teach yourself how to love the process. There's this quote from Myron Golden, and he says, "It's always working. It's either working for you or working on you." So we can tell ourselves all the time, well, it doesn't feel like it's working. No, it's working. If you're working it, it's working. It's either working on you or for you. And so many things in my business were working on me. And I really do believe that. And we'll talk about that in a minute. You have to grow yourself if you want to grow your business. Lesson number 3 is that in business, self-care is an act of stewardship. Can I get an amen? Self-care is an act of stewardship and business growth. So listen, so many of us, I did this for a while. When you get into business, a lot of people say that when you start your own business, you're so tired of the 9 to 5 that you're just now going to go work 24/7. And I think all of us who have built businesses can relate. But that is not sustainable. And you have to learn how to take care of yourself in order to take care of your business. And this lesson took me a while. I have burned out my adrenal glands more than once, you guys, by burning the candle at both ends. I love to work. I love to work. I have to consciously focus on recovery. I have to consciously remind myself that when I take my hour and a half to go to the gym, that's also growing my business because it's growing my health. It's growing my resilience. I have to remind myself, listen, I don't have to work at this anymore, but I used to kind of have to work at taking time off. Now I love taking time off. And every time I'm working on the most amazing knitting project right now, and every time I sit down to work on my knitting, I know what's going to happen. I'm going to sit there and I'm just going to knit. And as I'm relaxing and as I'm enjoying using my hands, as I'm enjoying this recovery activity, so many ideas are going to pop up that I have started keeping a note and a notepad and a pen by my knitting, because when I knit, I get so many ideas. So how can you take care of yourself? What does that look like for you? For me, that looks like moving every day. That looks like taking lots of good supplements. And, that looks like a hot bath with my Epsom salts. That looks like journaling and planning my day in so many ways. I am prioritizing self-care. Self-care is an act of stewardship. You are taking care of this asset that God gave you. Listen, I heard somebody say this. This is so true. If you don't have your health, it's the only thing you can think about. If you have your health, you can think about other things. You want to build a business, prioritize your health, take good care of yourself. Third, and I will say this, you guys, I am in my 10th year of business, healthiest I've ever been. No doubt. In better shape, mentally, emotionally, more resilient than I've ever been. If you let it, building a business can be the gateway to you living your highest purpose as your highest self with the best habits you've had, really living at your most energetic, your most healthy. I really do believe that. Lesson number 4 is build your team. Now, some of you are like, well, Dr. Edie, I am not making any money yet, so I can't afford a team. Here's what I mean by that. When I first started, my team consisted of me and my C.S. Lewis books. Those were my business books back then. I literally spent 10 years between the time that I stopped practicing medicine and started my online business. I made myself a student of C.S. Lewis, of good theology. I audited online courses in classic books. I just submersed myself in the company of the best writers. And you could say to yourself, well, how did that teach you how to build a business? Because amazing principles apply everywhere. So when I started, that was literally my team, me and my huge stack of C.S. Lewis books. And I still surround myself with the best minds. My book list, my home library, the podcasts that I listen to every day, the courses that I sign myself up for, the coaches that I hire. Literally, you do become the people you surround yourself with. So whether that's in books or podcasts or in real life, who is pouring into you? Build your team and start with who you let pour into you. I have heard and you have too, the quote, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Well, I can tell you that. But when I was starting my business, I was the average of C.S. Lewis and G.K. Chesterton and J.R. Tolkien. And like those were my mentors, you guys. So who are you letting pour into you? Are you investing time and money in getting yourself the training you need? And listen, I'm now at the point in my business where I do have a lot of help and I prioritize it like crazy because I know that I can have so much more impact if I am allowed to focus on the things that I'm really good at and then delegate, get help, hire out the things to really let people help me. And it has required some humility, you guys, because when we're starting our own business, we tend to think that we're the only ones who can do it, just like we do it. And that's not true. But you start by surrounding yourself with people, mentors, books, coaches that really inspire you. Instead of listening to all the naysayers who want to tell you, well, you're too old. Well, that's never going to work or whatever. So surround yourself by people that inspire you. Lesson number 5. This one is so good, you guys. This is so applicable for us women in midlife. I'm going to tell you right now, if you do not give your brain something amazing and fun and inspiring to focus on, guess what it's going to do? It's going to focus on everything wrong. Everything wrong with you, everything wrong with life, everything wrong with your spouse, everything wrong with your kids. Your brain needs activities. It needs something inspiring to aim for, to shoot for. It needs goals. It needs a challenge. And we get to this age in life where we feel like, well, I've done all the things. No, you haven't. Learn a new hobby. Come join coach training with us. Learn a new skill. In the last couple of years, I've learned how to wake surf. I just took my knitting to a new level. You guys, I'm knitting a sweater. I haven't tried knitting a sweater in 14 years, I think. I was working on a cardigan sweater. It was almost done right before our house fire. I was knitting it for my daughter, Katie. That sweater got burned up in the fire. And I don't know. I've just had this I don't want to, that was really hard. And I don't know. But my daughter, Ellie, decided she was going to knit a sweater. And when she wore her sweater for Thanksgiving, I'm like, I have to do it again. I need to knit another sweater. So you guys, I'm like halfway done with it. I just started it like 5 days ago. Keep that brain of yours busy. Find something that inspires you, that feels fun and challenging and exciting, because you need to give that brain of yours something to do. Be willing to step outside of your comfort zone. Things like this, challenges, make us uncomfortable. Good. We need that. We need the challenge. So be willing to step out of your comfort zone. Be willing to take some risks. Be willing to give yourself a challenge, no matter what stage of life you are in. Lesson number 6. I have learned so much about managing my time, AKA energy. You guys, the stuff that I get done in a week now amazes me. I knew a long time ago that I had like adult ADHD. Back when I was, in medical school, when I would have like huge exams, I would scrapbook all night and then study, my medical exams the rest of the night, or I would clean my house like crazy, or I had all the classic signs of ADHD. And when I started my business, I'm like, I have to figure this out. I have to figure out how to manage my energy, how to manage my time, which really means how to manage your energy. And I have learned so much about myself. So a few things that I do to do this. Number 1, I go to bed early. I don't have a firm wake up time because I just wake up spontaneously around 5. But I do have a firm go to bed time, and I am getting ready for bed by 7:30 or 8. I'm usually asleep by 9, 8:30, 9. And going to bed early for me has been game-changing, life-changing, because I wake up early on my own. I have usually a good hour or two in the morning where I can get some really good stuff done. I can listen to an inspiring podcast, listen to a meditation, plan my day, maybe write an email. I try to use that time in such an inspiring way so that by the time somebody else gets up at my house, I feel like if I didn't do another thing today, it's been a great start. And then that allows me time then to go to the gym. I have just learned how to manage my energy. When I come home from the gym, that's when I kind of have peak energy for creation. So right now I'm creating a podcast. That might be when I do some Instagram content or when I do some writing or when I do some emails or whatever. And then I save the afternoon for when I have another dip in energy for doing some, if I'm chatting with somebody in my DMs, if I'm sending messages, if I'm doing phone calls, if I'm doing meetings or whatever. So you have to learn for you how to manage your time and energy in such a way that gives you a lot of freedom. I usually have most of the bulk of my work done by 1 or 2 o'clock in the day. And then by the time I pick up Tom, we can go for a rock hike outside. We can do something outside before it gets dark. And then, it's been a glorious day. It's been a great way for me to learn how to manage my time and energy. Lesson number 7. This is so good to you guys. This is a little bit like what I talked about in the other one where you need to give your brain something to focus on. But here I want to remind you of something that's really important. All of my programs are basically based on the framework of the hero's journey, because I feel like that's what life is based on. If you look at the scriptures, you see the hero's journey in the scriptures all the time. We were created for adventure. And when we don't have that, when we aren't living out our lives as an adventure, when we're basically in sort of reactive mode where things happen to us and then we react and then things happen and then we react and then things happen and then we react, and we're not deciding, here's what I want my next year to look like. Here's what I want my next 3 months to look like. Like literally learning how to live your life by design instead of by default. And because we were designed to live by this adventure, this challenge, we function best when we're doing that. And business for me has been an amazing hero's journey. So many obstacles, so many failures, so many setbacks, and just being willing to continue to show up to my life, to continue to show up to my business when things don't go well, when launches don't go well, when books don't sell, when whatever it is that I'm trying to do doesn't go well. That is when you figure out what you're made of. That is when you decide, no, I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep showing up. I'm going to consistently keep showing up no matter what. And seriously, for me, this has been being willing to be a beginner. I remember when I first got certified as a life coach, even though I'd been a practicing physician for a long time, so I was used to being in that environment with somebody where, you're holding space for them, you're asking a lot of questions, you're helping them through things. I'd had a lot of experience, but coaching is a whole new ballgame. And I was really bad at it for a long time. You have to be willing to be bad at something to get good at something. And I have been just the most dedicated student of coaching that I know of over the past 5 years. I've spent literally $100,000 or more reinvesting a lot of the money that I have made online, reinvesting that into my growth, into coaches, into learning how to be a better coach, learning how to be a better business owner. But being willing to be bad at something, being willing to invest in yourself to get better at it in whatever way that is for you, whether that's time or money. But really, failure is just learning. And if you can really embrace that when you do something new like this, when you embrace whatever challenge you want to take on, being willing to be a failure, but keep going, being willing to look at the obstacles as those are just the stepping stones to what I really want. Joseph Campbell is the author of the main book that was written on the hero's journey. And I love what he says. He says something to, I don't know if this is the exact quote, but it's something like this: the cave that you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. Let me say that again. The cave that you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. So I remember when I first felt that call to coaching, and it felt scary. And it's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to put myself out there. That's going to be so terrible and scary. But for me, I knew, and here's what I also knew. One of the other reasons I was afraid of coaching you guys is because I knew that it was going to force me to address all of the demons in my own closet, that I was going to have to enter that cave. And I didn't want to enter that cave either. But entering that cave has given me so much freedom, because the skeletons in your closet are just that, skeletons. They're not alive. And those demons, as soon as they see the light of day, as soon as you open it up, they run. And so what is it that you fear? What calling are you fearing that you're not stepping into? What conversation do you fear that you won't step into? What work do you fear? And I have learned this, that the bigger, the worse you think the demons are, the bigger the monster that you fear, the bigger the hero it requires, the more you have to really step into the next version of yourself. Lesson number 8, create more than you consume. This has changed my life. We live in a culture of consumers. We consume so much food, so much social media, so much drink, so many things not good for us. Make a decision to create more than you consume. Go pro. I read a book a few years ago about going pro. Meaning start taking yourself seriously. Go all in on your dreams. Stop telling yourself you're too old, it's too late, you don't know what you want. Yes, you do. And when you decide to create more than you consume, that creation is going to require that you just get started, that you make a bunch of decisions. And we're afraid of that. We're afraid, am I going to do the wrong thing? No, just start making decisions. Just decide to do the thing you've been afraid of doing. Start taking action. I can remember at the first of the year, we wanted to rebrand the podcast. That's when we decided to give it a new name called House of Joy. We brought my daughter Emmy on, and Emmy was like, she said, well, this was like in November. And she said, when do you think we should start? Like, I don't know, April, May. And I'm like, oh no, we start the first of the year. We go in January. And she's like, we don't even know what we're doing. I'm like, I know, we just start. You guys, she has said so many times, I'm so thankful we just started, because you can't learn until you start. You can't learn what you need to know until you start doing the thing. So whatever it is you feel called to create in your life, whether that is a new business, whether that is, an amazing relationship, whatever it is, a book, a hobby, whatever it is, start taking action. I was listening to a podcast on this by Jody Moore, and she said, you will succeed at the speed of your decision-making. I love that. So how fast can you just decide and start taking action? Just decide, here's what I'm creating in my life. I'm going all in. Lesson number 9, the goal is really the becoming. The goal is not really the goal. I have surpassed every goal I ever set for myself, for my business. You guys, we have had unbelievable, crazy, amazing success that blows my mind all the time. And really, what I've realized is it's who I am becoming that's important. It's how I am learning to show up to my whole life. It is the experience that I'm able to learn to give myself of my life. The goal really is to become your true self, to become the fullest potential of who God made you to be. And whatever can help you on your journey toward that, whether that's a business or a relationship, let it do its work on you. Get a vision of your most loving, your most glorious, your most joyful, your most determined, your most powerful self. And for me, my business has helped me become her. My business has helped me step into that version of myself that was in there all along, but I hadn't called it forth. And that is an amazing impact that different things can have in our life. But for me, definitely my business has had that impact on me. And the last lesson, this is really important, you guys. Stop asking your business to validate you, to tell you who you are. Stop using it as a measuring stick. God has already told you who you are. You are his beloved. You are his cherished daughter. You are his crown of creation. You are so valuable to him. No matter how much success you were to have in business or in whatever endeavor you make, doesn't make you any more loved or cherished or valuable to him. And when we go to our business and ask it to validate us, it gives this weird, needy energy. And then people are repulsed by that. They're like, oh, that's not good. So don't come to your business, to your clients to validate you. Get your validation from the only place you can get it from, which is your Heavenly Father, who loves you and created you for this amazing work that He's called you to do. When you come to your business, you come all filled up with all of that, ready to serve. And that lesson I have learned in business more than anywhere else. So I hope you've enjoyed this little lessons that I've learned from 10 years in business. Liz, I really do believe that being a business owner and an entrepreneur and a coach has made me a better mama, a better wife, a better Grammy, a better human, a better friend, a better daughter. I'm so very thankful for the tools I've learned in coaching, for the lessons and skills that I've learned in building a business. It's been such an honor. I also want to thank those of you who are my clients, have been my clients, have been on my email list, have listened to our podcast. I am so grateful to have you in our community. I love you so much. I really do think it has been the honor of a lifetime to serve you in any way that I've been able to serve you, and I'm so grateful for you. Have a great rest of your week. Join us for Thursday's training. If you haven't signed up for that yet, we would love to see you there. We will put the link to that in our show notes. Okay, have a great rest of your day. Love you. Bye.